As Central Iowa hospitals report a high number of influenza A cases, daycares across the state are working to keep kids healthy. KCCI's Kayla James is live at a daycare center in West Des Moines tonight. Kayla, the director there, says her team and the families of the kids really kind of work together to stop any chance of this illness spreading.
They really do. Now, Nicole Scatino-Talley tells us there have been a few kids over the last few weeks here at Angeli Cristiani Child Care who have been out sick with strep throat or with influenza A. She says collaboration between the daycare center and guardians and parents is really key when it comes to keeping kids safe and healthy.
Even if they're acting just not their normal self, that could be an indication to us that they're not feeling well.
And no one wants a baby, toddler, or child to be sick, especially not the team at Angeli Cristiani Child Care, who just love the children they care for. It's why the director, Nicole Scatino-Talley, says her team and the families work to make sure there's no risk of spreading anything.
We do like a little evaluation in the morning.
After families wash their hands, the team asking parents questions like if the child is happy, are they acting feverish, and more.
If we can weed out someone who's not feeling well right in the beginning of the day, then that stops everybody from being exposed.
The Angeli Cristiani Child Care team also makes sure to clean every room of their building thoroughly every night.
We mop the infant room floor twice every night, once with just warm water and once with a sanitation.
And every night, they sanitize the toys. It's all part of a routine they all follow, even when illnesses like influenza A aren't as prevalent as now.
The numbers continue to rise. They have not peaked yet.
Unity Point Clinic's Dr. Ashley Prio says Unity Point is seeing a record number of patients test positive for influenza. On Thursday, Unity Point Health Des Moines announced it's postponing elective surgeries and procedures requiring overnight hospital stays from January 8th to the 13th. It's due to high patient volumes, increased ER holds, and a record number of surgical cases, and will affect less than 20% of patients. In the meantime, physicians want people to stay healthy during this time of the year.
We need to take care of ourselves, wash our hands, stay home when we're sick, and consider getting the flu shot to help prevent you from getting influenza in the first place.
If you have a little one in daycare, Scatino-Talley says keeping kids home when sick if possible and making sure they wash their hands are important.
The parent is a crucial part of the center running well.
And again, Scatino-Talley stressing with us today, really it's that collaboration between daycare providers and the parents, the guardians, the families of the kids that they're caring for that really helps when it comes to either preventing an illness from spreading or slowing it down. Live in West Des Moines, Kayla James, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.